Ko te mauri tūtau mai, ko te mauri noho tau mai, puritia no te ngā āhuatango te ao, kiko o te ao wairua, kia rongotia ngā kapū, kia rongotia ngā mauri, eke ki te ao kura tawhiti, haumi e, hui e, tā ki e, kei aku rangatira, nau mai, and welcome to the 2021 Bunnings National Touch Championship. My name is Hika Penny, and joining me is my good friend Mr. Maya Williams. Morena, bro.
Morena, Hika.
Hey, we've got it's going to be a cracker to kick off. Well, firstly, how stoked are we to have the Nationals happening, Maya?
Oh, it's incredible. Touch New Zealand done a fantastic job to get a venue like this for our participants to play in. Looking around at all the grounds, ground 1 and ground 14 look the same. What an incredible venue this is.
Yes, Ōtautahi, they've got one of the best facilities in the country. Ngā Punawai, if you haven't been there, come check it out. It's got tennis courts, it's got hockey turf, but the main thing is it's got touch going down. So here it is, your games for today scheduled on the Sky Next Bunnings sponsorship. We've got Hawke's Bay, 45 men's. We've got a 55 men's game also. The locals are in those, but it's a double back-to-back. Canterbury 35 women's taking on Nelson. That's going to be a battle of the South Island. But back to this one, Maya, we've got the 45 men's. We have Hawke's Bay taking on Auckland. And what a way to kick off this live stream, Maya.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, Peter Walters, if you say touch, you say Peter Walters. As he's there, just checking out our sideline mic, making sure it's working. Yeah, what a great game to start us off with. I'd be really interested to see how the 5 weeks later in the year that Nationals been played this year, the impact that has. It's as you can feel sitting up here on the second level, it's much colder than what it normally is this time when we have Nationals.
Yes, as they say, makare mumu hupe toto. It is a little bit nippy in the south, but it won't be that on field number 1 here at this year's Nationals. And I must say, this Auckland team, man, they don't look like they're in the 45s. They look more like the 30s there, Maya.
Yeah, I must say I don't tend to watch too many Masters. In Hawke's Bay we have Apai, we've got Kelly Graham, Ben Kingy, Justin Ross, Graham Etbart. Number 7 is Alan Gardner, Matthew Smith, Russell Hewitt, Derek Devane, Damon King, Casey Walker, Dan Kingy, Chris Karaitiana, Duncan Quinlevan and Roman Pukitapu.
Yes, and that is your Hawke's Bay 45 men's team. On the other side, we have Mr. Peter Walters himself. Then we've got Samuels, Tao, Douglas, Fiu, Baker. Look out for Darren Harwood all the way from Whanganui. Edmund, Stevens, Rameka, brothers by the looks of it. Edmonds again. And then we've got Stephen, Reed, Corbett, Afele, Leona, Glenn Wynyard. The coach is Stephen, he's been around for a while. Manager is Malcolm Vitor. That is your Auckland 45 men's. And finally, we're about to get it on. We've got 3 referees that are going to start this one also, Maya.
Yeah, great team of referees to start it off, just like we have the great teams. We've got Vanessa Forrester leading them away, and supporting her is Shane and Sam down from your area.
Yes, all the way from Carpety there. Sam, he's put in a lot of time. Was at the 2020 Trans-Tasman with the youth. Now this one here, we've got Auckland. They look pretty focused just off camera. They're on camera, you can see them. Peter's doing his normal, I guess, campaign talk. And I dare say he's talking all about the 1%ers. The conditions will play a part. There's a bit of wind here, Maya.
Yeah, I think the wind probably will, but I think what will play more is the dew. When I look at it on the ground, it's still very wet. You can still see people's footprints, which suggests there's still a lot of water on the ground. It's nice and hard, but I think that dew probably in the first couple of games until that's kicked off will play a bit of a part.
Yes, if you've been around the game a while, you would have seen that the PTL kicked off the very first year. It was run out of this facility. It's amazing. It's got everything there.
Yeah. When I first turned up, I had to find out where the fields were. I've seen the 2 incredible international standard hockey pitches, as well as the athletics pads, seen the tennis courts. This is just an insane place. I don't think we want to go back anywhere else.
Need to get one of these in the Hodaki and the Horo Whenua. But just looking at some of the players here, Matthew Smith, Hawke's Bay, AFL Aussie Rules player. Look out for him, number 7. Now we have Darren. Now he's been with one of Peter Walters' right-hand man. He's a grinder, comes out of Whanganui. He's going to tap off number 7. They are going from left to right on your screen, just making easy metres up the field. He's going to take another drop in the middle, and I would not be surprised if they run a little quickie play off this. They're just going to load it up. Oh, looks like here he comes. Looked for Darren to get the ball back. Oh no, it was a sweet play. I think they could be fooling us away. They're good at this stuff, I must admit, Mike.
I don't know if you've seen that, but did you see Peter Walters give the left link there the look for not going around the back door?
Yes, he did. Oh, Good. Oh, great work. This is good defence by Hawke's Bay. Good pressure. That's a great way for them to start the game. And hats off to one of the big defenders there, Matthew Smith, out of Hawke's Bay.
Really surprised. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this first few minutes goes. I was watching the teams prior to the game and their warm-ups, and there was two very different warm-up styles. Auckland seemed very focused, as you said earlier. They were together a lot earlier, warming up a lot earlier, whereas Hawke's Bay seemed to come together a little bit closer to the game starting. So I'd be interested to see if that has an impact on the first 3 to 5 minutes. But Hawke's Bay's first set of D was good, yards was good, controlled the ball up the other field and end of the field and turned it over where they needed to.
Yes, I'll definitely be happy with that. There we go. Auckland coming through. This area of the game is going to be vital. We call it the orange zone, the transition zone. Meyer, he's got some nice direct yards there, but there was a bit of downtime there. He's coming through the hands again. Just looking to set up. That's a beautiful plant. Oh, look at this little change up. Oh, great work by the winger. Play through. Good touch, good touch. I'm just having a look at that one that threw the pass. He looks very familiar. From Stephen, yes. Some of these players look a lot younger than they look on the sheet there, Mike.
You think we need to check their birth certificates to make sure they're over 45? I'm sure by the second half they'll be running around more like their age. Just interested, twice now Auckland been down on the line, both times setting up for that backdoor sweep from left to right. Be interesting to see if they stick at that. Haven't quite been successful. Be interested to see if they stay there.
Well, Hawke's Bay, it's played well in their hands. Play through, just nice physical. Look at the speed. They've completed that set in the right part of the field, but what Hawke's Bay have done well is they've forced Auckland to come back and throw into the wind, and I think that ball's just sort of held up. So yes, Happy Gill out of Hawke's Bay coaching over there. He'll be happy with the start of this game for his group.
I unfortunately haven't got the opportunity to ref too many Masters games over my time, but in the times I have ref the Masters teams, I found them to sort of bring all their tricks all at once. So normally you might have 1 or 2 players in the Opens grades doing a few tricky things, or when you've got 16 on one side and 16 on the other, there's a whole bunch of tricks been happening. Falling over when the touches probably ain't that hard.
Subbing? Is this a subbing penalty, Maya, maybe?
Yep. So incorrect subbing, it looks like. Let's see what the referee signal is. Yep, incorrect subbing. So 7 on the field. 7 on the field. The penalty for 7 on the field is back at halfway. For incorrect subbing, it would be where this was noticed.
And just as you were talking about these little tricks, they pulled one out and it didn't go unnoticed. But it's 0-0. 3.5 minutes gone in this one. This is the 2021 Bunnings Touch National Championship. Masters are kicking this off, and it's a lovely way to have all our grades together in the South Island, with obviously what's happening around the world. Globally, man, we're very, very fortunate. So here we go, little 32 peel here. Going to rip. Junior's got the ball, 5. Beautiful ball. Great just going to go through. That's excellent. Yeah, Junior.
3 times down, 3 times that backdoor left to right play. Little difference there was their right link came underneath, almost like running a block or shadow runner, as they would call it in league. And 3rd time lucky. Yeah,
and there it was in the Bunnings replay. So they've definitely seen something. They attacked the 33 platform, and then they kicked over to a 32 platform, which I dare say has probably come from, I see Junior he's a real handy player. So geez, they've just changed the point of attack and they've come up trumps. So Auckland lead Hawke's Bay a 1-0.
Hicker, with your coaching hat on, I imagine Auckland will probably setting Hawke's Bay up later on, and so they're sending them left to right through the back door, the sweep play. I imagine there'll come a time where that pass won't go back to the right, where they'll continue to go left, give it back to the person who dumped the ball and go short side.
Definitely. Well, Walters will be seeing who's biting on defence, defensively. That time they got the link and the winger and they disconnected them, so he'll be noting all that stuff down. But the 32 peel is 100% strike rate for them, so I don't think they'll go too far away from that. Yeah, just great. Nice line defence also.
Matthew Smith there.
Yeah, they're just really connected in defence, Auckland. Just for us up here, it's hard to see some of the numbers at 9 in Hawke's Bay at times. Through the hands, final. They just probably need to get a little bit more control on the back end of the set. Really test Auckland. Auckland, look at that quick transition straight into it. Through the hands they go. Massive metres. That's 1. Darren's going to come up. They're going to be just over three touches, they're going to be on halfway. Good transition coming through. There's Junior. I know there's another one on there. Robert Ramika. And they get a penalty. That's a perfect set, isn't it, Maya?
Yeah, that's what you're after, isn't it? Rucking out off your line really hard with control and hopefully getting a penalty or a try on the end of it so that you can have your fresh crew on and then have a crack on the line.
And it was very simple but done very well. Oh, that's a big touch there. Oh, just cruising in the in goal. Check out this mirror defence. Oh, yeah, there's that Dewey ball you talked about, Maya. So those little things, but yes, they definitely seem to be attacking this right-hand corner.
Yeah, with the sweep, with the way that ball going, that definitely seems to be all the players. I wouldn't be surprised if they do end up going short side, almost like the plus play.
But I guess, the back end is because Auckland are consistently pounding them in this corner on transition. They've got to get the ball all the way over the other side, Maya, and they've picked up a penalty.
Yeah, good work from Auckland's defence on the left-hand side there. Got up really tight, caused an obstruction to happen.
Now, I understand there's a new rule you can't run through the ruck anymore. Have you? That's actually an official new rule?
Yeah, it's not a new rule. You never have been able to. It's around being called obstruction. Yep. It's just now it's being more enforced.
Yep.
It's something that the referees have been asked to focus on, watching teams as they transition towards their box, and as they plant, and they normally just run straight through the defence to get into the box quickest from A to B. Now they're asking the ref to look at that.
He's calling the touch. This young fella must have only just turned 45 because he still looks like a lean, mean athlete. 15 there.
I did see him. I thought he was the physio of the team. I thought there's no chance he's old enough to be playing. But
Affiliate Leona.
He's obviously been on a different program than I have to stay in that sharp condition.
Oh, yes. Nice. Here we go. Sweep play again. They're going to go short side. Step back. Through he goes. Beautiful. Yep, they've come with their bag of tricks, Auckland.
Daryl Baker, I think that was. The perfect type of player you want coming around. Nice, big, tall, lean, strong, getting the ball. Big gap, as you talked about before. The two defenders being disconnected. Sliding right through. Nice and easy try. Oh,
and shout outs to our camera crew getting that one. Excellent. And Auckland 2-0 over Hawke's Bay. But if Hawke's Bay can just get a little bit more organisation, unfortunate on the back end, and really test this Auckland defence.
We've just seen the impact of the Jew again there with the dummy half coming in, slipping over and unfortunately kicking the ball forward.
Yeah, footwear's vital in these ones. Yeah, there's Junior. And just look how they're slowing the tempo, just keeping it middle. And hey, they might stick to the sweep play again, Maya. It's been paying big dividends. Yes, he's going to come around, going to check. Oh no, he's going to play this little short side, long ball right to left, out to the winger.
Yeah, it was always going to happen. They set them up to eventually go back that way. Obviously, they're wanting the Hawke's Bay to overread early, shift left, and get the numbers going short side. And then you've got your two options there, short or long. Surprisingly, he stepped back inside the winger and got underneath.
Yeah, Nathan Reid. But what happened was they got the other middle. So that's when you're very vulnerable to step back short side. But execution. Auckland, they've found their groove, and Hawke's Bay giving them quite easy balls. So if they can nullify that, Maya, and give them, complete their sets. Oh, and there's the 360 loop.
The big difference for me, just over halfway into the first half, is there seems to be clear direction around the game plan for Auckland, both on D, transition and attack, whereas for the Hawke's Bay crew, as we've seen a couple of sets ago, when they did get up to the attacking line, they didn't seem to have any direction around what it was they were going to do. They passed it to someone that had no dummy half ready on the fifth, and they went to nothing. So I think that's probably what Coach Gill is going to say to the team at halftime, if not already in the boxes, around having clear direction. We see it there. Number 10, Robert Ramika.
That's awesome, man. He just sold everything with... If you watch Pete on the replay, he's looking infield the whole time, infield, and then that little short late pop. And then there we go. There's the master in his trade, I should say, on the One Foundation replay. Auckland, they're making it all very simple here. So the more ball they get, the more touchdowns they're going to get. And back to Hawke's Bay. If they can, be nice to see them run a sweep play on Auckland.
Yeah.
Just see how they react. But look, they've got this wave defence. Yeah, and they're just, confidence is a big thing, isn't it, Maya? You're confident. Now look at they're running a wave defence on tap off D, and it's quite confusing, unfortunately, for
as you know, Hicka, how good your attackers comes off how good your yards are, how well you set it up, and so it's taken them 4 touches to get down there from halfway, and so probably not moving into things with the best flow.
Yes.
At least they got through into the touchdown zone first time.
Here we go, Auckland. They're looking to move the ball here. Yeah, nice work, and then they'll just get nice direct yards off this. One, they'll get to halfway, almost in, easily in 3.
Oh, they'll be disappointed with that.
Off the mark. Those are those times, Maya, you think getting extra yards is a benefit, but it actually slows momentum.
Exactly. It's around having that balance, understanding, what's the most important. That flow all the way down through, having that momentum is way more important than an extra metre or 2.
Hawke's Bay, they've got some good ball here. We lovely to watch them run a nice little sweep play, pulling out this Auckland, more so pulling out the outside defenders of Auckland, and trying to get that whole defence retreating. Oh yeah, they've got really nice shape, Auckland, on defence.
Yeah, look how tight they are. Both of those wingers are at least 10 to 12 metres infield, so there's 24 metres of the 70 metre crossfield, that 50 metre crossfield that isn't being used. Almost half of the field is open for the attackers. That was good to see from Hawke's Bay. Well set up, knew what they were going into. Unfortunately, accuracy not quite there, but if they can keep that going, then they're going to score in no time.
Yeah, well, he steps back and this whole Auckland open side defence just collapses in, so they're definitely vulnerable as long as you got to get good setup and pull them out. But here's the machine. There's Junior again. Really like the look of Junior and the Auckland team. Nice and direct once again with Rongo Te Ao. There's Darren. Here's Walters.
This will be a check back. Oh no!
Yeah, he's just going to cruise through. And are they going to give that one?
I would hope not. Yeah, there we go. Yes. Good call.
He sort of gets those ones now and then, eh?
Well, that's what every other player that plays him says.
That was
a lot closer than I thought.
Yeah, I better dodge Pete after this, because once he sees the replay, he'll be looking for you, Maya. This is good. This is good from Hawke's Bay, getting them behind. Yards. Look at the middle defenders. Far wing is still trying to get on. This is where they need a nice strike plant to move this Auckland defence. And he goes down, you go. Yeah, it's lost count.
Yeah, but even in saying that, they've handed the ball over on the 5. There's a lot better momentum in that. They got their crew off and on quicker. But like you said earlier, I think because the ball was handed over on their box side, it made it a lot easier for them. I think Auckland will realise that if they hand it over on Hawke's Bay's opposite than their box side, then they use a couple of touches to get across field. Maru
Samuel's been excellent out here on this right wing. It's such a vital role now in our game. Oh, here we go. The physio. Here he is. I feel Leone. He's looking super fit. Oh, nice. Look at this. All the time in the beautiful top line too.
Couple of pumps out to the wing to get the winger holding, and then just hitting it to the link, run a great line.
Here it is on the Bunnings replay. Come all the time, nice and composed. And there goes Rameka, dots down again. And Auckland, they're all playing their roles very well.
Been very accurate on D, very accurate on the yards, very accurate down in the attacking end. They had those first 2 sets which didn't quite go what they wanted to, I would imagine, but other than that, they've now cleaned it up and in real sharp form.
Yeah, hopefully Hawke's Bay go back to the last attacking play where they run a little quickie step back. There's good energy here from 9, nice and clean ruck. And look, this is this wave defence, and this is what you want to do. You want to move them. That's better. Get the other. Oh, unlucky. That wave defence does push you to take those options, but they're not that critical. And if you can pull it off, then Auckland will slowly stop flying.
Yeah, totally. Once you get outside a team a couple of times, they'll start to go away from their normal wave pattern.
Good transition again from Auckland. Just slowing the tempo as they get on fresh legs. There's Pete looking to move the ball. Good touch there. Like the look of 9 for Hawke's Bay. Russell Hewitt. There's 13 again. Little 2-step. Look at Pete comes short side. Keep on him. Oh, timing is everything. Good touch. Excellent touch. And both the officials were right there, Maya. That's where you need to be, eh? Yeah,
it's all about teamwork. And obviously if you run from the middle of the field being the on-field referee, you might not get to the edges too closely. And that's where your sideline referee is really important.
Here it is. Oh, good touch. Good touch. Easy pass and the winger was in there.
I would like to call it white line fever, but they're black today, so black line fever.
Yes. Yeah, heads up here. Look, there's 4 Hawke's Bay players. and only 2 Auckland attackers, and this is suffocating them. It's good to see they've picked them up. Yes, this is what you want to do, move this Auckland defence, but you need a straight hit again. Oh, unlucky. It's not that easy to adjust live when you've got that fly defence in your face. Those comms sort of come from the sideline.
Yeah. I think in the second half, if Hawke's Bay want to change the attack on the yards, they need to take a couple up the middle early to get that momentum before they go across to their box. At the moment, they're trying to go across. They're not really getting any forward momentum. And then when you get turnovers down here, you're giving Auckland a fresh set on the line.
Oh, look at this nice W there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's these conditions again, but beautiful attack from Auckland. They've seen the type of defence that the 3-3s are giving them, so they're taking them inside, they're taking them outside. Everyone's running really nice attacking lines.
I think that's the issue for Hawke's Bay. They're giving them what they want, as opposed to making the decision defensively, we're going to give them this one thing, because then you can manage that. But if you're giving them everything, then it makes it pretty hard for the outsides to know what's happening.
Yeah, and there's Maru Samuels again, straight on it.
Penalty for off the mark.
Yeah, really like the connection within the roles of the Auckland team. They all know their role. No one was there, Maru, he's a right winger, goes straight to the middle. So real good awareness from all these players. Here's this combination again. What a little two-step here.
You generally know nothing's going to be happening on the set that Pete's planting the ball on, unless he's getting it back straight away.
He's just trying to pull this middle out. He's definitely going to go, there's a little step follow play here. Oh, short ball. Yeah, he was manipulating that defender and really isolated him well. But if we look on the Bunnings warehouse, so he gets this defender, it's a little follow play, steps back, ball in little dummy, and then ball down. Yeah, and man, as we have our opens players flying in today, a lot of them are flying in. If you're tuned in, they'll be just getting pumped watching this live stream.
It'll be a totally different experience for our open teams turning up today, and they'll probably be down here later this afternoon looking at the fields and watch some games, because you don't normally turn up and you're not playing on the day that the Nationals is going. So I remember back in our days a little bit ago, Hika, there used to be the Masters happen before the Opens, and now there's sort of that overlap. So I think it's a really cool concept. It'll be interesting to see what the experience is like for all the participants.
Yes, here we are live back Ngā Punawai, Ōtautahi, Waitaha. Hawke's Bay, 45 men's taking on Auckland. It's probably been the tale of the half, unfortunately. Dewey ball and a few errors, but Auckland, if you're looking to look at the high standard of the 45 men's, got great defence there by Hawke's. Oh, just left a little bit early, unlucky. He tried to lift this team there, though. The idea was right.
Yep, just the preparation. Look to the ref, get early onside, and then know when you can leave. That's all that's about.
Yeah, once again, really liked Rongo number 3 for Auckland, role player. There's Julia, number 5 with the ball. Also, Stephen, he's been a real threat. Here's a 32 peel platform. He might go short side here off his right. Just go straight to the winger. Beautiful. Now, they set that up early in the first, right at the first, and they've just kept that one in the pocket there, Maya, just before half-time, Bunnings warehouse. So just a little slight jink, skip pass, right to left. Beautiful hands, and even better finish there by Donovan Douglas. Who's, as we know, wingers play big minutes in today's way of touch, so he's dotted down and he'll be stoked.
That was a great catch, as you've seen the 3 times earlier. Auckland down here, they dropped the ball, whereas that time there was a nice catch up on his shoulder, not easy, but ball wet, he did a great job.
Nice again, there's Samuels, the winger, stepping up. He stepped into link. Play through, yes.
Here we go, Hawke's Bay.
Yeah.
Couple of touches up there, sleeves, set up.
To the winger. Oh, they've caused a little bit of trouble out wide. Is where they've created some really nice options, Hawke's Bay. 20 seconds before the half-time hooter. Look at this. Yes. And that's uncharacteristic of Pete on the first. I guess he knows they're up by 7.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, Hawke's Bay didn't get a crack just before half-time. Offside called by the sideline referee there to the on-field referee.
You can take it back, on those ones, is that right?
Yeah. That's a big change now. If you do it incorrectly, you can take it back.
Through the that would have been a nice way to finish the half, but there we have it. Auckland lead Hawke's Bay 7-0. We're going to go through some. Here's the back end here. Goes through the hands, check in. Nice read. by number 12 from Casey Walker. It was a great read. So my first half, Auckland definitely stamped their mark in this game. Hawke's Bay's half-time talk. Probably a couple of priority things that might be mentioned.
For me, I think it's one around having direction on attack when they do get down there, and the important part prior to that is the yards and getting forward, getting momentum going forward first before they pass the ball across to their sub-box. Otherwise they're handing it over on the 10-metre line to Auckland. And with Auckland, I think they've hit the ground running. They've come here with a purpose, with a plan, and they've executed it really, really well. Had it not been for the dew, then it could have been another 3 to 4 touchdowns that they had on the scoreboard. So they're really sharp, and if this is what they're like in their first game, I feel sorry for the teams who are getting them in their next.
Yeah, for sure. And I think probably one of the hardest things is, the wave defence that Auckland's sending at Hawke's Bay, that they're just almost suffocating the team. That's probably got to be addressed. And one thing we used to do when teams would do that to us, we wouldn't actually run forward, we'd just hold and then check. So it gives you a little bit more time, you have nice little wraps. So, and once you beat that wave defence, you put doubt in the minds of the opposition. So hopefully they've got a little trick up their sleeve to counteract that, and then get some nice platforms on the back end of their set.
You with the Ōtautahi Kapiti under 21s team, is that right, this week?
No, I'm not.
Who have you been helping?
Who have I been helping? Yeah, I can't actually say live, can I? Nah, I'm actually with our Ōtautahi Kapiti Open Mix. We start tomorrow, and I know you're with the Thames Valley Open Mix, so looking forward to that, Maya. But yeah, definitely come back to the mixed grade. Yeah, there's no 21s. Yeah, they're all under 20 though. But back to the Masters here. So there's Happy Gill. He's put a lot of work in the Hawke's Bay, a lot like obviously the Bartlett brothers, Anaru and Nui. But how awesome, to have a team from the Hawke's Bay, Te Matua Maui, here in the Masters for the young. I guess when you come out of Opens and you don't have many options, our province, unfortunately, we don't have a Masters team, but I'll take my hat off to provinces that can put together a Masters team. Yeah,
it's so important you have those key people who have that history and experience and knowledge in the sport to still be playing, because often some people, if they're not playing, they don't want to stay involved. So I'm sure they are all helping back in their regions, coaching teams, coaching young teams, etc. It's fantastic to see.
Have they had a Masters teams come?
The last time we had a Masters team, I think, when my dad was playing. And I don't want to tell you how old he is, because you might guess how old I am. But it's been a long, long time, and we don't really have much touch in the valley as it is. So we don't have modules for them to continue to play in after rugby and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where we haven't been able to put together teams.
And here we go, the second half. We're here at Ngā Punawai. These beautiful, awesome facilities down here in Waitahu land and Waitaha Ōtautahi. Yes, they get a penalty to start this one off, and it's Hawke's Bay in the traditional magpie black and white colours, running from left to right on your screen.
Justin Ross shifts into the middle. Must be one of their attackers with Kelly Graham. Be interesting to see what they set up with a fresh six.
Yeah, nice Ross.
Graham working with Gardner.
Yeah, Gardner. They might be running a little sweep play here.
Ross off to Gardner. Gardner again. With the big don't argue. Here's Ross off to the winner.
Great hands.
Great hands.
Great hands.
Great hands by Derek. Wasn't the easiest pass. He had no room to move. And unfortunately no try, but good catch.
Jeez, I wouldn't want to mess with Gardner.
No. Gardner 2 in a row, now he's doing the hard mahi on defence.
Yeah, Samuels again at half. Nice transition on here. King's on the coming through was Edmonds. There's Darren. Look at them move the ball again. Yes, going through the hands. They do the 1%ers very well, don't they, Mike?
Yeah, really good. Really accurate. Right places, right timing.
Oh, what a touch. I'll tell you what, not very many times do people get Walters on that one. Hey, he normally slices through.
The amount of times I've ref Pete and he does the dummy without dummying it, and people still fall for the dummy that didn't happen. That's incredible.
And you're waiting for the dummy, eh?
Yeah.
That's, man, he's got a big motor, Ross, number 5, for Hawke's Bay. Big motor.
Oh, that's one of those tricks that I don't think worked. Often they'll try to look like that something may have happened in the ruck to get a repeat set, but fortunately very onto it there by Sam and picked up that it was just an uncontrolled play ball.
They've definitely come out, cannot or doubt Hawke's Bay's effort, and they've kept Pete out, one time, so they're going to run the sweep play again. He's just going to look at his options. Ball in 2 hands, he's going to go over great touch again. Yeah. That's good work.
Much better than in the first half. They seem a lot more connected in the 3-3s. Most people can't defend Pete, and they've done it twice in a row. So this is a really good start here from Hawke's Bay. You can see that in the first half, though, that they're progressing from the start of the game, and they've continued that momentum going into the second half.
Plus, you were saying, once they can get, I guess, a policy or structure in place, there they got really stable and held. And look at this. This is what we've come to see from Hawke's Bay. They don't want to slow it down like that. That's unfortunately, that's really stopped their momentum. Through the hands, drawn pass through. They got a nice recount.
They're really trying stuff. There seems to be a lot more purpose in the second half. So hats off to Coach Gill for seeing what was there and then making the adjustment and giving the clear feedback to the team to start the second half with.
They're really nice at tempo, Hawke's Bay. Ōtautahi, Hawke's Bay, number 1.
He'll be setting up for a scoop, I'd say, just after what it looked like on that last set.
Nice. Comes through.
Ōtautahi and Kingy in the middle.
Big Kingy. Ōtautahi.
Quickie.
Let's get the ball straight back.
Step back, get into your hole.
That option was right there.
Yeah, totally. Kingy just needed to identify the hole that he needed to go into once Ōtautahi had stepped back, and I reckon they would have been on for a try there. Much better purpose, clear direction, leadership by Ōtautahi in the middle. Here we have Auckland coming off the line.
And they probably just need a combo, an attacking combo for them. But here we go, the meter eaters. Daryl Baker out of Auckland, this junior. They're getting a lot more familiar with these players. Stevens just about to drop. Junior's going to hit this 32 peel platform. Slight change in the tempo. Oh, yes. And I think Hawke's Bay, they're not automatically shutting how they were before. They're getting on and staying nice and stable, which is, that's a penalty every day of the week, isn't it, Maya?
Yeah, and unfortunately, it was on the last touch. They just needed to get up and work hard for each other there rather than hold off. They weren't under any pressure. I'm not sure why he held off. Anyway, Auckland here with a fresh set. They're going to be hard to hold out. They've done it twice already this half. Let's see if they can do it 3 times.
And I must admit, we've really adapted to the 7 metre rule now. I think right across the country, we're not seeing anyone chop off too early. A little outplay. Here's Junior. Skills for days, Junior?
Just easy. Picked the ball up, showing up the back, waiting for a defender to make a decision, and then he'd make the right decision after it. Yeah,
man, and I've watched Junior play for a long time, and I just really like how composed he is. Look, as he's coming across, a nice little skill set, very low error rate for any in this game, and I think is another strike weapon when Walters isn't on the field.
That was really good play from Madu Samuels as well. It's easy to not cut and then end up going into numbers or cutting too early. He waited till the defender made a decision and come to Samuels, and then he cut at the right time.
Here we've got Graham and Ross. Just unlucky there.
One thing I want to go back to, you talked about we adapted to the 7 metre rule. I think everyone was worried that the refs were just going to blow the pee out of the whistle with regards to it, but I think the refs have really been strong in that area of the game, and we've seen the impact, the positive impact that's had to the attacking teams and to the spectacle that touch now is, and actually it hasn't been the ref blowing the pee out of the whistle. So hats off to the refs for the incredible job they're doing with that new change, and it's had a really positive impact on the game overall.
Yeah, well, I was complimenting more how the players have adjusted. And that's got to be definitely a lot more easier for the officials off the right, outside Walters. He's going to call the... Yeah. Oh, that looked ball down.
I think the player who touched him was onside, however the other one was off. So
yeah. No, good call. But here we go again. So this will be one of his many sequence plays that he's got. A little sweep, is he going to give it? He might get it back. Oh, yes, I see. Yep. And you can see Pete just pointing. So they'll probably chat about that one. But here we go. Here's Ross. I like the look of Ross out of Hawke's Bay. Coming through their hands.
Much better second half from Hawke's Bay.
Yeah.
They've been repelling Auckland from their line. I think now that's 6 times this half. They've only let in 1 try in the first 7 or 8 minutes.
He's up high.
Yards are better. Last touch. Unfortunately not knowing the count again.
Yeah, quick transition. Here's Darren. Just going to use Samuels. Come through. Yeah, they find the hip a lot of times when they ruck Auckland. They don't overstep the mark. Those little 1%ers. You're on the ball again. Nice and direct. Here's Junior. It definitely looks like one of Pete's subbing buddies while he's out there. Pete's in the box. Little 2-step play. Comes short side. Great defence. I've been really happy with Hawke's Bay's defence this first 8 minutes of the second half. Or 12 minutes, sorry, the second half. Oh, little late cut, and here's Junior. Little Goosey. That's nice and stable there, Hawke's Bay, eh? They held their space. That's great work from Hawke's Bay. How many passes did they force? And I guess at the end, Auckland were just too sharp in execution. But we'll check this one out. So he comes across, we get a late cut here. There's one late cut. Comes through the hands. The Junior, oh yes, it's beautiful. Oh, and now hopefully that player that slipped is okay. It is a bit dewy.
Yeah, I thought the wind would have the dew off the ground by now, but it still seems to be there as much as it was at the start of the game.
And Hawke's Bay tap off again. We've got Casey Walker, Hawke's Bay. Yeah, nice work. This is good. Yeah, unfortunately, he never got that. And also Russell Hewitt. He's been a ball energy for the Hawke's Bay. Number 9, just checking it over the far side there. Yeah, it'd be good to get it back into Hewitt here. Oh, there's Ross. Oh, yeah. Just if they can centralise this one, Ross. Get a nice little scoop in the middle there for Hewitt. There it is. Ooh. Like the intent in that attack.
Yeah, much better. They were on the same page there, just unfortunately Auckland's good defence are back on the line, made the touch.
Yeah, nice little transition, and Auckland, yeah, they just do this really well, eh?
Yeah, Hawke's
Look at these yards.
just don't have the time to move forward. They're just continually rolling because Auckland are at them the whole time.
Yeah. Once again, and you look at Auckland, they're constantly looking to hit targets, you know, where they really want the ball. Ooh. Physical? I don't know.
If you're not going to bend over, then that's your problem in my book.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have given that penalty, but obviously you looked at the ref the right way, and unfortunately, like most times when you get penalised close to your own defensive line, there's often ends in a try. Yeah,
and just slowly they've found their groove. It's taken a long time actually this half, and compliments to Auckland. Ball in 2 hands, show. And Ross, I've really liked the look of Ross. Hawke's Bay gave us all, and unfortunately just missed that one. And number 11, David Edmonds, dots down for Auckland. They go to a 10-0 lead. We have 9 minutes remaining in the second half.
I think it'd be easy to assume the type of team Hawke's Bay is by looking at the scoreline, but I wouldn't be surprised just seeing how much they've improved from the first tap off to now, how much better their defence is, how much better their yards are, and they're now having some direction on attack that we might see them later on in the tournament around the semi-finals. I think they've really grown over this last 30 minutes so far.
Oh, definitely. Game time is so valuable, and I dare say they wouldn't have as much times to train together and play together, so this may be one of their first games as a full unit, and who better to come up against than to test yourself where you're at is Auckland. So I agree. I think tomorrow this team will improve out of sight. Here we go again. It's got the winger here. This is great. Oh man, they've got real awareness around the policies. Yeah, it's just sticking to those ones.
Stephen there just scooping outside. Drawing 2 defenders into him, waiting till they fell off the winger. Easy pass, easy try. Stephen's quite a leader in the team. noticed in the sub boxes as the game's going on, he's really bringing the team together, reminding them of what the policies are, what the next steps are, giving them some feedback. So as you can see him now in the box again doing the same.
Yeah, they've got great leadership actually right across. They're all in their separate pods. But here we go, the Hawke's Bay coming again. Yeah, Kelly Graham just resetting. Getting the ball back again, just trying to find, I guess, trying to get the right attacker.
The last time Graham, Kingy and Smith were on, they went really close to scoring.
Yeah, once again, there's Darren and Pete. Good combination there defensively. A little check here. Oh, Pete, nice and strong through the ruck. Here comes Darren again.
Really good timing, no one in front of the ball, no one putting pressure on the dummy half, that constant flow.
Yes, Junior. Be one of my picks, Junior. Obviously, Stevens back out there.
Here's Baker coming around on the back door.
Oh, bow sweep.
Fake the back door and ends up going back the short side.
Yeah, just...
was a ref call there.
He's going to go to the sideline, but I just love the ball movement. They ran a bow, come back in, ran a sweep. Junior picked, eyes up, touch, had his head up just to see. Ball down first. First reaction, Maya?
Oh, I hate to make a call from 70 metres away.
Yep.
Maybe Vanessa just needed that 1% reassurance from the sideline. The defenders didn't seem to mind too much. Yes, good call. Well done. Good teamwork by the two referees. Got the right outcome.
And there it was on the One Foundation replay. 6 minutes remaining in this one. It's the second half. The 45 men's grade, Hawke's Bay playing Auckland, and you may know a few familiar names and faces in this one. We've got the master himself, Mr. Touch Peter Walters, and I've liked the look of Junior View. I think he's done well from end to end. But here we go. Here's Arpai. He's working in tandem there with Graham. Here's Gardner. We've seen Gardner in the first half. Man, I'd get him to set a nice ruck, eh?
Yeah, get the bumper bar up like he did earlier.
Yep. Oh, unlucky, yeah. Like that, snapshots of that looks really nice from Hawke's Bay. Transition from the far side. Yeah, and Auckland take that one hit in the middle, and then they may, another hit, check off. Yeah, they do that well, eh? And they isolate, it's a great touch. And then they just ruck off this, and you can see they've slowed the tempo, but they're still going forward. I have no doubt they've probably been given the word maybe to just peg back a bit and keep the bodies fresh.
I also think they put a priority on control over speed. So, here we go, Walters set up, there was nothing on, just got on the outside of his defender, draw and pass, everyone running the right lines. Great work again, makes it look way too easy. And
this 3v2, these skills here, it's not as easy as it looks, ball in two hands, draw and pass. Sometimes you see that at the highest level watching Super Rugby or stuff, they blow it, but it's beautiful to watch. Definitely something that's high in our skill set.
He just mesmerises people. He's standing there, and so people are just standing and watching him, and they forget what else is happening around him, and then next minute he takes off and he's still running around like a 30-year-old, gets on the outside and then simple draw and pass.
Hawke's Bay back at it again. Arpai with the ball. He's definitely had some composure to this group. Nice skill set too. This is, unlucky there, but Arpai, when he's on the field, they look a lot more, they gel.
Yeah, he's got a lot of speed, Arpai. He seems to lead the team around, and they look most promising when he's on. It would be interesting to see if him and Ross can get together, because I think that they'd be a good attacking combo.
I do too. Yep, definitely Ross's energy, Arpai's control. I think that'd be good. Yeah, 15 is here's our man, Afele Leon. That's a great touch, Mike. Oh, yeah, another good touch.
Just disrupts that flow, right? A good, solid touch like that.
It is, yeah.
Beating the attacker to the bend, so it slows down the roll ball.
Oh, yeah. And there's our man, Afele, the physio, Leona. We say the physio because he looks so young.
Yeah.
And is in great shape, but ball in two hands. Look, he's even got a spring there. Show. And that's compliments to the player off the ball, isn't it? Maya doing that work off the ball to create that time.
Yeah, and absolutely, he pulled his defender a little bit wider and gave the physio enough space for him to run through, and ultimately he's just way too fast.
There we have 14-0. Auckland over Hawke's Bay. 2.5 minutes remaining. But they have definitely not thrown in the towel. They're going back at it. And I'm going to look out for Hawke's Bay tomorrow. Going to make it a point to go and watch them. And I have no doubt that they'll have some improvements. That's a penalty. And the rucksie. Ignore me.
I don't think the defender obstructed an attack from doing much. So good play on. They've done a top job, the 3 referees here. We've had 14 touchdowns, and that seems one-sided, but actually they've kept the teams apart, been very consistent with their calls.
That's better. Oh.
If only it wasn't Darren who was trying to run around. Anyone else, he might have had a chance, but not those speedy little legs.
But look how smooth they ran that 32 peel.
Yep.
It looks very natural for them, that play. I agree with the adjudicators, Maya. There hasn't been any stoppage. It has had no effect on the game, eh? It's been really open. Nice big 7s too, Maya. 8 big 5s.
Yeah.
Very consistent from both. So I dare say those those young players the opens players that are flying in and that are watching this here, they'll be getting pumped. And absolutely.
The hardest thing in the world as a referee is trying to get a Masters player back 5 metres. Now you have to get them back 7. It's made even harder. So I think that's testament to the job the 3 referees are doing to get that 7 metre space, particularly in the second half. They often want to just go back 2 steps rather than 7 metres. So again, compliments to the ref on the work they've done here.
Yep, I totally agree. And obviously Auckland are conditioned. You look at them; they're still flying. They're getting back 7 and full complement of players. So, and obviously living in Auckland, there's a lot of modules you can play in, which I dare say there'll be a lot of top officials. But here we go. I'd like to see them go back to that 32 pill. They made that look so simple.
Kingy here, just pulling the Aucklanders to the right, I imagine, so that they could come back with something to the left. Apai directing the crew around.
Yeah, and he's worked it out. That's the one. Oh, he's actually asking for that platform, Apai, the 32 peel.
Yep.
Nice, and there's this Kingy.
Yep. Apai and Kingy together.
He's Gardner. Apai, he just needed his man there. But we're just up there, and there goes the final Hudamaya. Auckland, they'll just take this last touch. Oh no, they're not. They're going to go through the hands. Yeah, oh no, stay alive. Yeah, they want another one. They're definitely not going to play through, and there we go. Yeah, you got to play for the full 40 against this Auckland team. But Auckland, 14-0. It might be a hard pill to swallow for the Hawke's Bay team, but this is the best team in the country. And obviously you're up against one of the masters of touch in Peter Walters.
Yeah, dominant performance, dominant display by Auckland. I think that the Hawke's Bay have got much more room for improvement than Auckland do, but if Auckland get better than what we just seen today, then watch out. I think they've just in that performance already got one hand on the trophy.
And there's your full-time score. Auckland over Hawke's Bay, 14-0.